Hello, everyone. This is Grace. It is January the 5th, 2021 now, you guys. And we are going to be taking a look at Daniel 7 today. So let's go ahead. Well, the last time that we left off, we had completed the first two beasts. However, we're going to have to take another look at the second beast. I can't remember what I said. I don't know if it's a correction or if it's just additional information, but I want to make sure that you have the correct information. So let's take another look at this one. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. So we know that the mouth, it's words that are spoken. So, and in between the words are teeth, or in between the teeth are words, however you want to look at it. So teeth devour and destroy. And I pulled up our definitions from the 5th trumpet for teeth. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions. Wherefore do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my life in mine hand? He teareth me in his wrath, who hateth me. He gnashes upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eye upon me. So teeth destroy, devour, hurt. So in between the destroying and the devouring and the hurting and the tearing, there are words. Okay? So what this is saying, where it says 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, this is saying that this prophecy must be fulfilled 3 times. There's a gap in between each word that's given. So you have the first time is when God's people were destroyed by Babylon. And then the second time they were conquered by Rome. And then we would be the fulfillment of the third overthrow of God's people. And then that leads us to where we left off last time, which is the 3rd beast. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. And this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast. Well, let's go back here. After this, behold, I beheld, and lo, another, like it to a leopard. Now, a leopard is said to be lying in wait. I'm not sure if I looked this up or not. Let's see. I did. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many, and their backslidings are increased. And that's Jeremiah 5:6. Therefore I will be unto them as a lion, as a leopard by the way will I observe them. Okay, so it's just... So a leopard lies in wait. And we know that this is a Christian nation. They know the prophecies, because everything is going to be revealed during our time. So they're just lying in wait, waiting on their opportunity to overthrow this government and to obtain their dominion. So it had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. Now 4 means it's universal. It's the entire earth, right? The entire world. Okay, so it had 4 wings of a fowl. Now we know that wings are a covering. It's a spiritual covering. This one has 4 wings to show that it's universal. So everyone is covered under this spiritual covering, but it's not the wings of an eagle. Otherwise, it would have said an eagle. This is a spiritual covering that is not of God. It's a universal, kind of like a universal church. We don't know what the religion is, or even if it's one religion, but they're all apostate religions, because this is the true church up here that had to be overcome 3 times. So you have universally you have people worshiping a false god. And that is what is in dominion. They have the dominion. The beast also had 4 heads. Again, 4 being universal, and then heads being, they have heads, the 7 heads of 7 mountains. I have to get my definitions straight here. Hold on a moment. Let me think. Okay. Heads are mountains, and we know mountains are kingdoms, or religious kingdoms. And since they all have the same spiritual covering, then it's a one world religion. That's the state that the world is in at the time of this beast. And it is an apostate religion, because when it says the back of something, then it shows a lack of wisdom. So not only are the wings not the eagle's wings, but the wings are on the back of the fowl. So I think I looked that up. Hold on. Let's look at that. So we have, in the lips of him that has understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the back of fools. I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. I will shew them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. So he's turning away and pretending not to see and not to know what's going on, because he's not looking upon it, which the eyes denote wisdom. And they have turned unto me the back and not the face, though I taught them, rising up early and teaching them, yet they have not hearkened to receive instruction. Here, by turning away their back, even though he taught them, they feign as though they're ignorant of wisdom and the law, basically. They shall howl, saying, how is it broken down? How has Moab turned the back with shame? So shall Moab be a derision and a dismaying to all them about him. They turned away in shame. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back, didn't need that, but. So here, it shows a lack of wisdom or understanding in this power here. But yet they have obtained a universal religion against God. So, and dominion was given unto it. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Okay, we know night means that it is the close of probation. Here it is in the night. This is the active end of the close of probation. If we go up here, it says it's by night. Near the end of night, was this, because it's the close of probation. For us here, during the 9th hour, this was enacted 3 times before it was complete. But it was near the end of probation for each of us during this time. Here is the final close of probation, the 4th and final judgment. And this is in the night visions. So, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. I hope that you've all seen the other videos in Revelation 13. I'm hoping that I think that this is the last one that I'm going to do as far as in connection with our study in Revelation 13. And that will almost catch us up. Actually, I think that is going to catch us up, because I'm going to do 17 and 18 after. I'm just going to do them in the order of Revelation. It's going to be slightly out of order, but that's okay. We have a good enough grasp of our time to follow it to follow it without much difficulty. So, yeah, I think this will wrap up Revelation 13 for us, for now anyway. So, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. And if you recall, when we did Daniel 2, iron was the metal that was associated with Rome. So it has great iron teeth, and teeth, of course, tear. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. So it's different than the other beasts that are before it. It has 10 horns. Feet, of course, it has dominion. And with this dominion is devouring, breaking pieces, and stamping the residue, and stamping the people, basically. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Okay, so he's looking at the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. So this is it's called a little horn because it's not a horn in the sense that it has the power of a army of a nation backing it to fight and kill. But it is a horn in the same sense as we saw in Revelation 13. It has an army, but this army is an imitation of the Lamb. It has its army as the false prophets. It told us that in Revelation 13 that his prophets went out and taught people to worship him. So when it says it has a little horn in the eyes of others, yes, it seems like it's little, but believe me, there's not really anything. Well, you guys know, this is the worst kind. This power, this horn power that has control over an army, is not just trying to steal your life. They're trying to steal your soul. So, but it's an army nonetheless, and it's identified both here as an army and in Revelation 13. So, little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Now, it doesn't really give a reason for this, but the reason is probably has something to do with, because this is Satan's dominion, right? And Satan is very intelligent, and so he knocks it down to 7. He knocks it down to God's number 7. And that's likely the cause of it. There'll be other causes, in the world. But Satan is not, don't underestimate him. He knows what he's doing. Like Solomon, he's very wise. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Yeah, so there may be an explanation for this. Let me take that back. I don't know if there's an explanation. I didn't see one right off, and so I didn't go looking for it. But my mind is that they were just knocked out of the picture and uprooted so that he could have a kingdom that imitated God's kingdom. So he has his seven instead of the 4s, because up here for universal you have 4, whereas God's number universally tends to be 7. Let me tell you something about 4. Something I noticed as I've been reading and looking at the number 40. There seems to be a negative association or connotation when you introduce the number 4. The number in itself means universal, but if you just take a look at the number 40, Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days, and he was there being tempted. That was to try his faith, to tempt him in all of the ways that man would be tempted, with pride and food. It was a very negative thing. uh, you had Moses was in the ark. He waited 40 days before sending out the bird. And what happened? After 40 days, the dove came back empty-handed even. There was no sign, no good signs that were given. A man could only be hitten 40 with 40 stripes, because after 40 it says that he would be diminished in the eyes of of um of his brethren. So that it implies that he would not be able to recover fully if he was given more than 40 stripes. Same thing with 40 days and 40 nights. Maybe science says that you can live 40 days without food, and that may be true. But if you go to 41, I'm certain that even if you were able to live, I don't know if you could live, to be honest with you. The Bible isn't clear, but for sure he would have died. Jesus would have died in the wilderness without God's help, because that's what it means. But 41 day seems to imply that he would not be able to recover fully and be at his optimum health at the 41st day. There's just something very ominous about the number 4 when it's put in the Bible. And I don't know if that's not always the case, but it seems to happen quite often. I just have to go back through and read the 40s and the 4s again just to see. I just noticed that about the number 40, because I've been looking at that since I looked up the definition. So anyway, we'll continue on. So, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, denoting that he did not have great wisdom. He did not have the truth. Okay? And a mouth speaking great things. Now, this word here, I want you to see this, because, we'll just do a comparison when we see it again. We'll continue on. But we know the mouth speaking great things is him going out against God. We can just leave it at that for now. So, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So the thrones that were cast down, there are no thrones here. I needed to tell you something up here in order for that to make sense, and I can't recall where we saw it, where I saw it. 3 horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Well, I'm going to have to get you at a stopping point, because I can't remember where the thrones were referenced here. Let me think about it. Okay. Well, it's not coming to me, so we're going to have to continue, and then I'll just do a correction later if I think of what I wanted to say. So we're just going to go with the obvious definition, that the thrones are the 7 remaining horns that are left along with the man of sin, along with this little horn, which we know from Revelation 13 is the man of sin. So just to clarify, hold on. Just to do a quick review. You have us during our time. Here in America, America is going to be overthrown by a heathen nation, which is represented by the bear. We go into captivity for 70 years. After 70 years, the leopard, who is aware of the prophecy, he lays in wait. After 70 years, he knows that it's his time. He springs forth and takes dominion of both the people of God and the heathen nation. There's wars that are going on all over Isaiah. This king is going to destroy. There's going to be a lot of war going on at that time. But they're all going to be. Oh, we also see a picture of this in Revelation 17 where it says the 10 horns are going to destroy the whore, and in their mission is to give the kingdom to the beast. Okay, so here you have the 10 kings. They are reigning, and they give the kingdom to the beast, the pope-like figure of Revelation 13. So that's the fourth beast. So when we get here and it says that the thrones that are cast down, is talking about these powers. They're not governments at this point. They're telling you how to worship. You don't get a choice. You're being told what to do. So that's not a government. That's a power that's reigning over the people. Okay? And that's why it says dominion. It's given dominion. So I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. I don't have to go into details about that. We understand this part. And the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels is burning fire. We know fiery flame. The fire is what purges and judges. Okay? It gives you are judged. You are judged up into the point where not just a fair judgment, but you are punished in exact proportion as to the crime that you have committed. Okay, so that's what fire is. It purges and judges at the same time. Okay, so then wheels, of course, we know from Ezekiel, wheels of fate. The wheels of fate are burning with fire, burning with the judgment of fire and the purging. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. So we already went over this when we looked at the sixth trumpet, the 10,000 times 10,000. This is the witness against the people. Where it says the judgment was set. This is just saying that this is the close of judgment. This is the close of probation for these people. Kind of like where Jesus said, let him who is filthy, let him remain filthy still. He who is righteous, let him remain righteous still. See, everyone hasn't heard the truth at this point. So it's not at Jesus's return. It is, but judgment has fallen down for everyone here who has heard and understood the truth. Because these people are controlling the world, a lot of people don't understand. They're just going along because it's such a great power. So they're going along to get along. So those people that have heard and understood the truth and fought against the truth of God, their judgment was set, and the books are now going to be open. The truth is going to be revealed, and their judgment is going to be revealed. They're going to know, basically. They're going to know. Either they're going to know or they're going to die. But you can read the book when the book is open. That's what it's trying to tell us here. And then, of course, you have the witnesses of God. You have the thousands of thousands ministering unto him, and the 10,000 times 10,000, which are the witnesses against him. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. So here we have the great words. Hold on, because we want to take a look at this with the strong. Because this words here is not just a word. It's his great words are kind of like supposed to be like the like a word from God, like written in fire. So hold on a moment. The voice of the great words here. It's a commandment. That's the way it's used throughout Daniel, by the way. A command, discourse, or subject. A commandment, matter, thing, word. So he says he beheld because of the voice of the great words. The voice is an action because of the action. So the words that he spoke require an action. So, which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. We know that that action is breaking the Sabbath. We've already gone over that in Revelation 13. So he is going to command that the Sabbath be broken. It's going to give us more details about that as we continue on. So, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld till the beast was slain. The beast was slain, being the man of sin, and his body destroyed, being the people, because the beast is just a group of people that agree on one thing. His body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beast, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. Let's see how far we have to go. Okay, we'll do this verse and then we'll stop and we'll pick up in the next video. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away. So the kingdoms were broken down and the horns were displaced. They no more of that, ruling over the people of God. Yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. So the worlds weren't destroyed, but the beast was taken out of place and his dominion over the people. All of these people reign together. It's the world. And here it is right here. This is the original beast. And this is the whole world. And then this is the man of sin that's being described here as the little beast. That's devouring and breaking in pieces and stamping the residue. Because he's doing that to the people of God. So we are going to stop here. So just to point out, their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. We know that that is the time of restoration, when the people have a chance to see and hear the truth from a proper representation of God and his kingdom, when the 144,000 are here walking the earth witnessing for God. Okay, so we will pick up in verse 13 in our next video. Until next time, bye.